Welcome to Thorough Talks 215. I'm your host E with my co-host Brown. Talk to
E, what's up, my brother? What's going on with you, man?
Life is good, Brown.
Life is always good, man. As long as you positive, life is always good, brother.
Absolutely. Episode 44, Brown. 44.
Gotta clap to that, man.
And listen, it hasn't been all sweet, but we're here, Papi.
I mean, nothing sweet,
Ay,
man.
Dios
You know how
mío.
that's what it is. That's life.
That's life.
That's life,
You
brother.
get thrown a curveball, you got to listen,
Yes,
make
sir.
adjustments.
Yes, sir.
Right?
Yes, sir.
Right? Today we got somebody special here, Brown, because you grew up with him.
Yes, sir.
I played baseball with him.
What?
He's strived. He's worked hard to become a doctor in the education field.
Oh.
Let me read this bio, and then we can continue. Dr. Randy Lahara serves as the assistant superintendent for Network 8, overseeing 15 schools and more than 6,000 students in the North Philadelphia area. A proud product of Philadelphia School District, Dr. Lahara's career is defined by pronounced commitment to equity and the firm belief that education is primary catalyst for upward mobility. Originally from Dominican Republic, his personal journey as an English language learner fused his passion for supporting underrepresented populations and ensuring that every student, regardless of their background, has access to a premier education. Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Randy Lahara.
Yeah, brother.
Guys,
Right,
thank you
what
for
up, my
having me,
bro?
man. Yo,
How you feeling, man?
I'm great, man. I'm great. Thank
That's
you
what's
guys
up,
for
dog.
having me, man.
You already know.
I'm a big fan of the show, and I just want to come and support, man, and show my love, and chop it up with you guys.
That's what's up, man. I appreciate you coming to the show, man. You have no idea.
Yes, sir. You have no idea. And we've been trying to get him on for a while, but he's a busy man.
Yeah, of course.
He has a lot going on in this world. Education. Let's start from the beginning. Tell us a little bit about your upbringing, right? The area you grew up in. Obviously, you grew up around Brown, so you guys from the same neighborhood,
Yep,
right?
yep,
North
yep,
Square.
yep.
Shout out to North Square.
Yep, yep.
Give us a little bit of the history, man. How you got to the country and how it started from the Brit, brother.
Yeah, man. So, I love telling my story, man. So, my family and I came to Philadelphia, United States, when I was 7 years old. Obviously we came from the Dominican Republic. Youngest of 5 boys, and my dad, loved Philadelphia because he actually came here back in '69, and visited here, and just loved the way this community was and how different it was from New York.
Oh.
Right, because at that time, a lot of Dominican people were in New York. Right?
Yeah.
New York. We actually landed in New York first, stayed in my grandmother's apartment in Manhattan for a minute until my dad, got stuff situated here in Philly, and then we came to Philly, stayed in one of my aunt's house on Howard and Ontario for a couple months, and then my dad, got the house on Hancock Street, man. And Hancock and Dolphin, man.
Yeah,
that's where we're from.
Yes, sir.
And and Brown and I were talking, the other day, and it's funny that he tells the story about, and I'm gonna let you tell.
Yeah,
it,
yeah.
He didn't even know what a Dominican was.
Yeah.
When we
Yeah, I
got
mean,
here.
honestly, like I was telling you too, like
Yeah.
I we grew up around mainly blacks and Puerto Ricans, around Dolphin, and when his family popped up, they was like, yo, there's these Dominicans on Hancock Street. Like, they got like 3 properties. And I'm like, a Dominican? I was like, what's a Dominican? I never even, because at that time, we talking about the 80s.
Right.
Yeah.
I didn't have no idea what a Dominican was. And like now, Dominicans are like everywhere.
Yeah.
But before, we didn't know what it was.
Right, the community wasn't as popular as it is
Yeah,
now,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
And so now there's a lot of Dominicans, and shout out to all the Dominicans. We have a lot of friends, and I got a list, but we'll talk about that later.
And it was the Rosas, the Cubans.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Wow.
Joshua,
Josh,
Kakino, Wonky, and them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
shout out
Well,
to them. Shout
it
out.
was them, and then the Dominicans.
Wow.
It was crazy.
In the 80s,
But
huh?
they-
In the
they-
80s.
But I think they were here before us.
No, they were.
Because when we got here, man, we went through a lot, man. Like they used to graffiti our home, break our windows.
Wow.
And I was a second grade kid, man, going to Hunter Elementary around the corner, and you remember the Echoes and
Yeah,
Alex
Echoes and yeah, yep.
and Adrian.
Growing up with all of them. Yep.
And those dudes, man, Echo, every day, bro, second grade, he would come up to me like, "Yo, let's fight," and I didn't know,
Yeah.
So I was like, let's go. And then we'd go around the corner in the
He passed away,
alleyway.
didn't
Yeah,
he?
yeah, rest in peace,
Rest
rest
in
in
peace.
peace. My guy,
Rest
man.
in
That's
peace.
that's actually my brother-in-law.
Yeah,
Yeah.
rest in peace.
And
Yeah.
we would go around the corner to Mutter Street, and they had a little lot there. And we just get down, man.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
can suck a punch like, oh, we fighting.
Yeah.
But I can never tell my family that, man.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, that's how it was, man. Growing up was like that.
Yeah, but my brothers went through the same thing, coming home from Kensington High School every day, and then it wasn't until one time my brother George, man, God rest his soul, man, he got into a fight with Rick.
Rick.
The
Cartagena
family, and it was down the street, and I remember all these people running down the block, and I'm a little kid, so I'm running down. And we get to Susquehanna right in front of North Square, bro. And they made a big circle, bro. It was like the Jets versus the West Side Story.
West Side Story,
Right? And my brother's throwing down, man. And after that, it was all
love.
there, man.
Yeah.
You got the respect.
Yeah.
And then they realized, man, we're all the same.
Yeah.
Like we're not here to bother nobody. We're here to live the American dream like everybody else, like every other family here, man. And I'm glad it worked out. We're family to this day. And it's great, man.
The rest is history.
The rest is history, man.
That's something that's special because you look at the Latino community now, huge now.
Yeah.
Aren't we, like, if I'm not mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong, we're the fastest growing minority, aren't we?
Yeah, fastest growing.
I thought I saw something like by 20, 30 or 40.
Close,
right?
It's
soon that we're going to be the number one.
Crazy.
Yeah.
So that's a lot of power, a lot of financial power, right? Influence. And so we have a lot of talent with music and all.
Yep.
Let's talk about your talents. Education.
Yep.
Something that we talk a lot about because we want our children to strive to go high, right? To go to college. What was your history as far as getting into college? Because that's special for us, right? We have to make a big deal out of it because not too many of us make it. Give us a little bit about how that started and your journey getting into college.
So man, my story is crazy, right? So people always talk about, I went to college for 4 years, graduated, and then I got my degree, right? So I always tell people I did the 7-year plan, right? So first off, man, what I want to say is that one of the craziest things that and we won't have enough time for me to tell you my whole story, man, but I was a senior in high school. And baseball was my thing. I'm Dominican, right?
Yeah.
My dream is to be a Major League Baseball player, right?
Yeah.
And my friends in the neighborhood, man, I love them, man, because they all pushed me, man.
Yeah.
They swore I was gonna get
We
back.
always said that. We always said he gonna be a millionaire.
Yeah,
no, he was really good at baseball.
So, I was an all-city baseball player as a junior.
I think he struck me out. I know. He struck me out a few times. I played baseball against him.
So, and I always had that, the backing and the motivation, not only for my family but for my friends. Man, right? So, I worked hard, man. I used to be in the lot next door to my house who had a gate. And I used to just throw a baseball up to myself, bro, and just hit it against the fence because I had nobody to, like, my friends didn't play baseball.
Yeah.
Right. I was one of the only baseball players in the neighborhood. And I just worked hard myself, man, because I'm like, if I'm going to live this dream, man, I got to do it myself, right? So my senior year in high school, we're about to start the season, we're playing Alany in the preseason. I hit a home run over the fence. I'm like, yo, I'm really coming into my own, man, right?
Yeah.
Start getting college letters here and there. So I'm like, all right, this is going in the right trajectory. I, staying good on my grades. And one day I go to visit my homie Greg. He lived on 4th and the Boulevard, and my homies are dropping me off. And we cross 4th Street, and then I'm gonna cross over 4th Street on the Boulevard, and the light was yellow, so I tried to run across the street. Yeah. Bro, a car came
and hit you.
Bro, it was a Ford Tempo, man, one of those old metal cars.
That's crazy.
Wow. That's steel.
At the last minute, I looked and I tried to like jump because I was athletic, man.
Yeah.
And I tried to jump over the car, but when I jumped, he hit like my calf.
Oh.
And I flipped over.
Damn.
Boom, and landed. I was in so much shock. I'm like, oh, I'm good. Nothing hurt. I get up. What I didn't know is that if I would have stayed down, I would have been good. But I got up and put pressure. My whole tibia.
Oh.
So compound fracture. I'm laying in the middle of the street, man, and I'm like, bro, I said, that's it. My life is over, man. Right? I'm like, I can't play baseball. And, but I go to the hospital, and, they do what they got to do. The next day, my mom gets there, and I'm bawling. She was like, why are you crying? She was like, well, I said, I'm never going to be able to play baseball again. She was like, have you seen the news? And I was like, nah. She said, turn on the news. Turn on the news. It was the Oklahoma City bombing. I don't know if you guys remember.
Oh, yeah, I remember that. I remember that.
Oklahoma City bombing, and I see little babies getting taken out because there was a daycare there.
Wow.
And all these little kids got, got killed in the bombing, and they were pulling them out. And she was like, "You see that,
Put everything in perspective.
bro?" 'Cause
Yeah,
my
that
mom,
puts
my mom
everything-
was all of faith, man.
Yeah.
Catholic,
Yeah.
And she was like, "You see that? That could be you." She said,
Yeah,
"You're
yeah.
alive." You know, you had, my dad used to always say, lo último que se pierde la fe, en la vida, right?
Tell me
Last thing
about
you
it.
lose in life is faith.
Yeah. Yep.
So, I was like, I get this to surgery. The doctor comes to me. He goes, "Listen, we're about to amputate your leg.
What?
Oh, man, that would have been.
We're about to amputate your leg." Right. So on the side of my leg, I have a cut that
Oh
they
my
opened it up. It had a
God.
huge blood clot. So they had to open it up so all the blood would come out. Right. Doctor comes to me. He goes, "Listen, I'm 18 years old, bro." Doctor's like, "Hey, are you gonna amputate your leg because it was that messed up?
Yeah.
We're gonna amputate your leg, or we're gonna put a permanent rod that you're always gonna have, with 4 screws. What do you want?" I'm like, "So you're asking me if I'm gonna amputate my leg,
Right.
or put a rod?
These are the options?
and I
Yeah.
have an opportunity to walk
Walk,
again,
yeah.
and whatever." So I was like, "Nah, let's do the surgery." So, long story short, man, do the surgery, come out. They send me home with no physical therapy because they
Yeah.
do it on your own, bro.
Yeah.
I taught myself, and right then and there is what I tell young people all the time. Like, you got to have a plan.
Yeah.
I didn't have a plan. So once those letters stopped coming, because I knew that I wasn't going to play baseball, I had to figure it all out.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm going to go to community college, go to CCP, take some college courses. And then me and a friend of mine, Greg, who's now, and I'll shout him out, he's the sheriff of Broward County, Florida.
Oh,
nice.
cool.
Right?
Cool.
The first African-American
Shout
sheriff
out to him, man.
from North Philadelphia.
Wow.
Yo, that's dope. That's
Yeah,
dope.
they don't play out there.
No.
Yeah,
And-
you'll see like the interviews when they be having the sheriffs talking. Boy, they tell you don't come out here.
Yeah, the rules are
Was
different
that
out
where
there.
the boys that were in the football team went down there and ran into Dick's Sporting Goods and stole all that?
No.
That wasn't that town.
It wasn't
Okay.
that one. So his county is the one. You remember when those kids got killed at Stoneman Douglas back in the day, that the student that came in and killed all those kids in Broward County in Florida?
I don't remember.
You
It
remember
sounds
that?
familiar, but I don't
Yeah,
remember.
If you look it up,
He's in that county.
he's in that
Okay.
county.
Oh, that's
That-
crazy.
That sheriff got dismissed after that happened, and then he got appointed by the governor. But then he got reelected twice, bro, like by a landslide.
Okay.
He's killing
doing
it.
his
So he's
thing.
really good at what he
Yeah,
does.
he's killing it out there.
That's
So
what's
he's
up.
in charge of 5,500 employees, bro.
Wow.
EMS, police, fire.
Yeesh.
all
That's
that.
Crazy.
From North Philly.
That's dope. That's
Anything's possible, man.
Yeah.
So him and I had a dream, right? We want to go to Florida State. He wanted to play football. I was going to play baseball. So, dial on a dream, man. We leave one time. We go out there, do our thing. And I couldn't concentrate out there, bro. I was homesick. Couldn't concentrate on my studies. So I'm like, you know what, man? I'm going back home. So, come back home. And then at that time, I'm playing baseball with Rube.
Yeah.
Rube, I don't know if you
Yeah,
guys know him.
that's
Big-
my
Big
guy.
Rube.
Move, yeah.
And next time I come on a show, I got to tell you what time he took us to Florida to play out there. A great time. But I'm playing there. One of my buddies, Domingo, that was on the team, was getting recruited by Gwinnett Mercy University. So they come out, and that day I have a great game, man. Home run, hitting the ball all over the place. So they asked about me, and he was like, "Yo, you want to go to Gwinnett?" And I was like, verbatim, bro. I was like, "Man, I'm not smart enough to go to that." You know us, man.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
yeah,
confidence.
yeah.
The confidence
Yeah,
wasn't
yeah.
there.
You
Yeah.
know, and afraid of failure or whatever.
Yeah.
So I tell them, yeah, go visit the campus or whatever. And but then I go to DR for December that year, and I was supposed to start January 5th of '99. And I got scared, so I just didn't go. I stayed in DR and didn't tell my brother that I was out there with him. And Rube calls my brother and goes, "Yo, man, Rennie was supposed to go to Gwinnett. He never showed up, man. That's messed up. We watched for him, whatever." Bro, my brother was mad.
I could imagine. He got on.
Mad. So I'm like, I said, "Nah, don't worry about it. I'll go." But then I'm not going to CCP because I missed that semester. So I'm just hanging out. I'm, in the street. Situation happens where I now have to go back to DR until things die down, whatever. Then I'm there, and I told my brother, "Yo, I gotta go back. I gotta something was telling me, bro, you
Yeah.
gotta go back to school. Like,
Yeah.
this is your opportunity. Baseball's was gonna get you there. You gotta take advantage of it because the rest of your life is gonna look like that, right?" And I knew I didn't want that life, right?
Yeah.
So and my brother's like, "Bro, stay here. I'll put you in a Sammy Sosa camp. I'll we can get a business together and you can stay here, just live out, just stay here. And I'm like, nah, man.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
said, I believe in God, and if something's gonna happen to me, just let it happen.
Yeah.
And come back home, and I'm there, and I call the coach back right away. It's August. Call the coach back, and I said, hey man, I'm still interested. You guys still want me? He's like, yeah, absolutely, man. We would love for you to come with us. Call the admissions counselor. Tell him that he was like, tell him you want to do business.
Yeah.
Business, right? So I tell people all the time, like, I didn't have an epiphany about being a teacher, bro.
Yeah.
I didn't have family that were teachers, like like other people do. Like, oh, my aunt was a teacher and my dad was a teacher. My dad and my mom dropped out of 3rd grade. Like, they didn't have an education, right?
Yeah.
So
not to cut you off, but a lot of us do come from that type of
Yeah,
background
yeah.
where we didn't see our family really go too far in higher education.
Yeah.
So, called the admissions counselor. He says, I said, hey, Coach Murph said give you a call. I want to go to, to Gwinnett or whatever. He's like, all right, cool. Let me check your transcripts or whatever, because I had sent that before.
Mm-hmm.
He looks at my transcript. He goes, hey, you have a 1.89 grade point. Bro, that's a D. That's a D plus. Right?
I think that's what I was all my
Yeah. Yeah.
D plus student.
1.89 grade point average, right?
Wow.
D plus. And he's like, listen, you need at least a 2.0,
Yeah.
right, to get here. He said, so go back to CCP. And right there, I cut him off. I said, listen, if I don't get into going to Mercer right now, somebody's going to kill me, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
verbatim.
Yeah,
Like
shit
you
was.
knew that,
It was real. It was
I'm
real.
like, if I stay out here, man, I said, somebody's going to kill me, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I don't know if you know this statistic, Brown, but I was at the old Halftime Good Time, maybe a year ago, before they changed the name.
Yeah, it's McAllen's now.
McAllen's now. And I'm there, and we're with people from my education.
Yeah, yeah.
And I brought them there, my neighborhood.
Yeah,
there, whatever. And my cousin, who's also Dr. Lahara.
Okay.
Ariel Lahara. He's
Shout out to him. Shout out to him. Damn, you got a family of doctors
That's
over
right.
here. That's awesome. That's dope.
He's my younger cousin, and came into education. He was a teacher for me, and then he just took off, man.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
Bright kid, man. And it's funny because he's 8 years younger than me. So when I was out there going out and doing my thing, like, he was young. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
I happened to see Nito there.
Oh, Nito. Yeah, Nito.
Nito was there, and I said, yo, Neat. I said, tell my cousin, man, because he doesn't believe me when I tell him my story. I said, tell my cousin what it was to grow up on Hancock and Dolphin. Right? DSP.
It was different.
DSP.
No, it was different.
Listen, tell him what it was to grow up there. And Nito gave me a stat, bro, that I knew, but not the way he put it.
Okay.
He was like, man, let me tell you something. He said, do you know that we lost 23 friends to murder?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
In that area.
Yeah. They were
23
Yeah, I calculated
friends,
I lost 13. So y'all got you got 10 more.
Listen, 13. 23. And people.
So did he? I'm sorry not to cut you off. Did
Yeah.
he say from what time to what time? Like, because I calculated from 8th grade to about 30. I lost 13 friends for murder because of murder.
Yeah. So I would say
Probably the same.
Probably the same.
Like
Yeah.
8th grade, right?
Yeah.
7th grade.
well, no, for me it was way earlier.
Yeah, younger. It was younger. Yeah. Because I remember.
I remember like in 88.
I remember,
89.
and people in the neighborhood just
Dying.
because of the way the neighborhood was built.
Yeah.
It was like the guys from that neighborhood, the ruthless ones. They were the
yeah.
ones who were like, getting deleted and stuff like that. It was crazy growing up there,
The
man.
ones that I like vividly, I remember Ray Money.
Ray Money,
IG.
Lou.
Lou. I think you weren't old enough to. You remember Pete? That his mom owned the corner store, Masher and Dolphin back in
I
the
think
day.
I do. I remember the guy Hector too. They got killed right there on Howard Street.
Yeah.
In the store.
Yeah.
It's crazy, right? Because let me just say this: I'm from Hunter Park, so when I met them, I'm not from that side.
Right.
I walked all the way from where I lived to hang out with these guys. And one lady that goes to my mom's church saw me and said, "Que tú haces acá afuera?"
That joke.
Chacho Elia. And called my parents, and they was like, "What are you doing down there?"
Yeah.
It was Shan.
Yeah.
Shan, and I think it wasn't Kaki, it was Josh.
Joshua, yeah.
They took me down there, and I met them.
Yeah.
I'm not from down there. And when
Yeah,
this
yeah.
woman saw me down there, down
Yeah.
Hancock, Peltor and Dutch, they were like, "What are you doing out here?" It was
man.
ruthless
Yeah,
back
yeah.
then.
No, it was, and it was the crazy thing was the guys in that neighborhood, they stuck with each other.
Yeah.
So it was other people that would try to come in and do something, and it wasn't going down. It wasn't going down like
man.
that.
So it,
So 23 people.
So 20.
Yeah.
So 23, right? So that's the environment that we come
Yeah,
from.
yeah.
So, and I don't know if you remember back in the day, man. It was a celebration when you turned 18 years old.
Of course.
Absolutely.
I'm like, why
Yeah.
Why we celebrating, man? 18 years old, man. You still got your whole life ahead of you. But then I started to realize, I'm like, yo, these
Being
people
the
got-
odds.
bro, and it was so bad, right? That I tell people all the time, and I don't know how you guys feel about this, but like when I started like dating, I couldn't give a girl a flower, bro. Because, and I'm gonna tell you why.
That's so true.
I'm gonna tell you why. Because when you go to a viewing, what do you smell?
Flowers. Yeah.
Bro,
So
and
it kind of did something to you. You
Yeah,
traumatized.
man.
Yeah,
and
it
I've
traumatized.
been to so many of viewings as a young kid, man, that smell, I just couldn't.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
associated it with death.
never
Yeah.
heard
Yeah.
anything like
Yeah. It
that.
makes my stomach. It turns my
Yeah,
stomach.
yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I never bought flowers because I was too stingy. Bro.
no, but for real, man. Like that's the
Yeah.
God honest truth,
Ain't that
man.
something?
God
Yeah.
honest truth, man. That I had that.
Yeah, that's
in the back
crazy.
of my head, man. Like you go and right away, man. You associate.
So do
it with
you
that.
contribute your drive because of that, right? Like
Absolutely, man.
that kind of had your motion going and
Yep.
say, you know, I'm gonna stay committed to the task.
Yeah, absolutely. So you know when I said that to the admissions counselor, man, he was like, you know what, man, let me go talk to the he was like, oh, by the way, what do you want to take up? What are you going to study when you come? Bro, out of nowhere, I was like, education. So you know, they go to the dean of education, Dr. Lorraine Cavalier. You know, lady saved my life, and she says, you know, just give him a chance. You know, what's the worst that can happen? Just let him know he has to keep a 3.0 grade point average, B average. If not, we're gonna kick him out, right?
Yeah.
So you know, he comes back and he's like, listen, I don't know what happened, but you know, you got to accept it. Can you get here tomorrow, bro?
Oh.
And my parents were in DR at the time, so I was alone at you know, in my house, man. So dude, I dropped to my knees, man. I'm bawling.
That's
Crying,
crazy.
bro. Like, you know, thank you, God.
Yeah,
I got-
'cause you know, you
I got
made
a
it.
chance,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Not only to get a future, but to save my life too.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah, because you was already like, yo, I gotta
Yeah.
get out this situation.
I'm out of here, man.
I gotta get into this school because that's the only way, you know, for you to survive.
Yeah, man. Literally.
yeah, that's what I'm
Literally
saying.
survive,
Like,
right?
it was crazy for you.
So, you know, call my mom, my dad, man, told them, listen, I got into college. They were so happy. And, you know, the next day, you know, I leave. Bro, I didn't have a suitcase. I have a maleta, no bag, bro. So I put my clothes in a pillowcase, bro. People don't believe me, man. I put my clothes in a pillowcase, man, right? Grab my pillowcase. And I took my mom's queen size bed sheet.
Yeah,
bed
the
cover,
sheet.
All right. And I take it to school because, you know, you get a bed over there. When I get there, bro, it's a full-size bed.
Wow.
Yo.
So I had to wrap it twice around. And then, you know, my roommates come and they come with like all this food, you know, ramen noodles and cereal. And, you know, they got nice bed sheets and all.
Yeah,
nice
yeah.
whatever. So I felt bad. I didn't have a pillow, bro. Right?
That's
I didn't
crazy.
you know, so, and, you know, shout out to them, man. They took care of me, man. Like,
That's
you
what's
know,
up.
They would let me some of their clothes at you know, when I first got there and you know, until I got my feet under me. But then, you know, the rest was history, man. You know, after the first semester, I had a 3.27 grade point average.
That's
Nice.
dope. That's
Let's
dope.
clap for that, baby. Let's clap for that.
Yeah, so you
Nice.
Never look back, right?
That's
so
what's up.
I got my bachelor's from there, and then I started teaching at Julio de Burgos Elementary on 4th and Lehigh.
Okay.
Then I went back and got my master's to be an administrator, a principal. And then I went back and got my doctorate.
Okay.
So, you know, all three of my degrees I got from Greater Mercy University, man. So, you know, it's hard work, you know, but I never gave up, man. And that's what I tell young people every day, man. Like, one, you got to have a plan. And then two, you know, you got to really, you know, stay resilient because you're going to go through some ups and downs, man. There's going to be demons and all types of stuff that are going to try to knock you down.
Yeah.
But you really got it, you know.
Got to fight through it. You got
There's
to
a light
fight
at
through
the
it.
end of the tunnel, man. You just got to keep your head above water, man. So, you know, that's how I got into education, man. It wasn't an epiphany, man. It was just, you know, baseball saved my life, man.
Right.
Yeah.
And the rest is history.
And the rest is history, man. Now I get to, you know, now I'm an assistant superintendent. You know, I was a teacher, assistant principal, director of elementary education. And, you know, now I'm an assistant superintendent, man. And I get to, you know, make sure that I take care of over 6,000 kids, man.
And that's dope that you continue to because a lot of people they'll get a degree and they'll stop. They're satisfied with a degree. You continue to go back and get a higher one and a higher one. So it was pretty much like the drive behind you for greatness, for better of yourself, that you continue to do that. And that's something different because a lot of people, they go, oh, I got my bachelor's degree.
Right.
I'm cool. Nah, you went all the way. Yeah.
made it.
That's dope that you actually kept fighting for it to become who you are today. That's really dope.
I will tell you, man, that a lot of times, like, and I would always hear this from people, like, oh, you know, if you study, you're a nerd and whatever. But I never, like, in on my block and with my friends, I never felt that way, man. Like
Yeah.
they were proud of me, man.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Because you were different, man.
Yeah,
You were
so
different.
I didn't, mess with drugs and all that stuff.
No, never,
And they knew.
Never,
like,
yeah.
They knew, like, yo,
No.
don't smoke around Rennie.
No, no.
That's real friends, man.
Yeah.
No,
Oh,
it,
listen.
real like what he's saying is so true because I remember us all growing up, and Rennie was the dude that we were like, he's gonna be the baseball player, and they gonna come back and save us, dog.
Yeah,
Like,
we're
you know
not
what I'm
gonna
saying? So
mess this up. Yeah.
we gotta, you know what I mean? We gotta push Rennie.
Yeah.
So that that's how it was,
good.
man.
That's
Yeah, that's
dope.
how it was. Straight.
Thorough, that's
That-
thorough.
it's-
I'm glad you say that, man, because I always tell people, I never forgot where I came from, man. And if you see me shining, man, that you're shining too.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
Like we're all shining.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
And that's why you're here now,
Yeah,
man.
man.
Think about it. Look how it works.
Yeah.
Years later, you have a podcast now, Brown.
Yeah.
And you bring somebody in that
Yeah,
you,
yeah.
that you saw.
No,
from
this
your
is
own
this
eyes,
is
man.
this you have no idea the feeling that I even got from this interview right now because this dude I grew up with him. Like this is not a dude I met like 10 years ago. I know Rennie for years. We grew up from kids.
Yeah.
You know what I
So
mean?
when-
We went to the same schools and all.
Nice.
when you hear people come from the mud, bro.
That's
Yeah.
it. Come from the mud.
Yeah.
Definition coming
From La Tierra. Straight up, dog.
But let me tell you though, bro. Brown says that heard about the Dominican family, but right away, bro, we heard about the Brown family.
Who hasn't heard about the Brown
Listen,
family?
like, yo, you don't want to mess with those people, man.
There's a whole lot of them.
Yo, they come out like ants.
No,
bro.
no. We had somebody here, Turtle. Shout out to Turtle, right? So he didn't know Brown.
Nah,
Just
nah.
met Brown.
Yeah.
So we do the interview. We have a great show. About 2 hours later, he's like, "Bro, I'm getting all these texts about Brown. Everybody's telling me,
Yeah.
yo, he comes from a real family,
Yeah,
so
bro.
the rep is high,
Yeah, yeah,
well
yeah.
respected,
Yeah.
beautiful family. Shout out to the Brown family."
Yeah,
Yes,
my
sir.
guy
Yes, sir.
Dave, man.
Dave,
You know,
shout out
to Dave.
Dave.
Dave was super
my guy.
excited when I told him you was coming on. He's, that's my nigga right there, dog. You know how Dave is.
Dave's my guy.
Shout out
Yeah.
to
And
Dave
Crystal, I can't
Jor.
forget
Yo,
Crystal,
Crystal.
Crystal.
Crystal's my homie, man.
Crystal.
Yeah.
Boop, bop.
Crystal.
You know how many times Crystal defended me, bro.
No, she get down,
That's all
dog.
I'm gonna say, man.
Yeah, guys and girls, she don't care. Let's go.
She punched me in the arm. I'm like, yo. Yo, straight dog.
You know what they say though? They say that the youngest sibling is always the strongest.
Absolutely.
And that's the youngest.
Yeah.
And she's strong, bro.
And
My little
witty,
sister
and
always
witty.
was
She ain't
strong
taking
like that.
shit from
yeah,
nobody.
Yeah, man.
yeah.
Let's switch gears because I saw a video of you on Instagram. And I think
TikTok.
it was a TikTok,
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
you were having a conversation with, I'm guessing, an old teacher of yours.
Yeah, yeah.
And it was an emotional conversation.
Yeah,
like to
man.
hear her voice
Yeah.
and how she was expressing
Yeah.
how much she missed him.
Yeah, I
and
seen
loved him.
that.
Bro, it took me out. I was like, you don't see that.
Yeah, yeah.
Explain, what was that
So,
about?
so let me tell you how that happened. So that was Mrs. Willis, man. She was my second grade teacher at Hunter Elementary. So when I first came from Dominican Republic, I was supposed to be in third grade because I had already started schooling in Dominican Republic. But when I get to Hunter, I'm in third grade, but I'm in my classroom is like a closet, bro. And then I'm like with 5 kids, and I'm like, this don't look like a normal classroom, right? And they're like, you could just tell by their behaviors. Later on, I found out it was a special ed class, right, with special ed students. And I wasn't special ed; I just didn't speak English.
Yeah.
Right. But they used to do that a lot back in the day.
Yeah, yeah.
right? So
They didn't know what to do with you.
Right, with kids like us, they didn't speak English. They're like, oh, well, let's put him in a specialized classroom, and then he'll be good.
Mm-hmm.
But Mrs. Willis actually went because she was actually one of the first ESOL teachers in Philly. She was doing that program with Tomasita.
Yeah, Tomasita, yeah.
Tomasita from Second Street.
Yeah, Second Street, yep.
She was the classroom assistant.
Yep.
And she said that she would get kids with Spanish last names. She wanted them in her class, right? And she was black, bro, black teacher. And she went and got me from that class and put me in her class. My parents didn't know about it, whatever. But one, she put me in a regular class, and then 2, they put me back from third grade to second grade.
Okay.
Which helped me out tremendously.
Yeah.
Because
You
with
can
her,
catch up.
with her, I learned English in about 2 weeks, bro.
That's dope.
I could defend myself.
That's dope.
Straight up, no lie.
That she was good.
I was saying like words and picking up things here and there, and and because of her, like my educational trajectory took off because of the way that she treated me, right? I still remember the way she smelled, bro.
Wow.
Oh.
Right?
Wow,
Can you
that's
imagine
deep,
that, right?
man.
Like her love, her passion,
Yeah,
her
yeah.
care. Like she was so, like such a good person, right? And I still remember the way she pronounced like English words so that I could know them. And listen, when I got to third grade, and then fourth grade, Miss Gordon was my
Miss Gordon,
fourth
Miss
grade
Gordon.
teacher. And when I graduated 4th grade, Mrs. Willis gave me, I'll never forget, bro. She gave me $20 and she gave me a Monopoly game. So she never forgot about me.
That's dope.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Like, and she was so happy that I was doing well because when I was going to 3rd grade, she actually gave me the textbook for 3rd grade.
Oh.
Said, hey, over the summer, read this and practice because this is what you're going to be reading in 3rd grade. Like, bro, she took care of me. So it took me 36 years to find that woman, man.
What? What do you mean 30s? You couldn't find her?
No, she had no social media. She had retired.
Right.
No social media. I didn't have her phone number or, no Google. I couldn't Google her like to find her. So there was another teacher that was a teacher at Hunter and was still working for the district. Her name was Dr. Brenda Taylor. So I had her email. So I reached out to her. I said, hey, do you by any chance keep in contact with Mrs. Willis? Is she still alive? Right?
Yeah.
Number one.
Right.
And she was like, oh my God, Randy, yeah, she actually sends me Christmas cards.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's cool.
Right?
Yeah.
So she's like, here's her email. Send her an email. And so I send her an email. Bro, I was like a 2nd grader all over again. When she responded to me, she was like, Renato, it's so good to hear from you.
Yeah, yeah.
Here's my number. Give me a call. So that day I wanted to record that, just to record that memory, man, because my sons were with me.
Yeah, yeah.
And my youngest son, when she picked up, he was like so surprised if you see him on the video. And she was just like, she told me the whole story, man.
That's so dope,
She
man.
was an ESOL teacher. And any kids that had a Spanish last name, she wanted them in her class. And she went and got me and put me in her class. So I spoke to her. We got to get on Zoom together. And then I invited her, when I became an assistant superintendent, to my principals. I invited her to talk to my principals and give them advice. Bro, everybody
circle.
Everybody
Oh,
crying,
man.
like full circle, man. So it took me 36 years to find her, man. But that's what that was.
That's
Yeah,
what's
that
up, man.
video, when I saw that, and then Brown, because Brown told me, look, we got to bring him on. And
Yeah.
I said, let me do my research, right? And,
Yeah, yeah.
and that's something that stood out to me because you can't fake that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Somebody that had that impression on him and vice versa for him to, because how many kids really
Yeah.
go back and search for their teacher? He's
Yeah,
been
man.
searching 30 years, right?
Yeah, yeah.
That's a dope story.
And you know how it always is that people DM me all the time, they inbox me, yo, I want to get on the show. When he did it, I thought about it and I said, well, let me talk to E first. And then I kept thinking, like, wait a minute. He has a really good story behind him. Like I said, the first Dominican family I ever met. So I think this would be good for the podcast.
Right.
So
Yeah.
once I gave it to you,
Yeah.
you did your little research on it, and you hit me back
It was
right
over,
away.
And then
like,
I said, wait, he looks familiar. I know that.
Yeah, yeah.
That struck me out.
He
in the
struck me
All-Star
out,
game
dog.
twice. It was this nasty curveball.
It was at an All-Star
He
game?
owns me.
Yeah, that was me. That was me.
Oh,
That's what's up,
man.
Yeah.
Let me ask you, since we're talking about doctors, do you know a Dr. LeBron?
Come on. What kind of question is that, man?
Let me say this.
Of course.
Dr. LeBron was the principal at McCloy Elementary School.
McClure.
Back then, Brown, they used to give kids a little spanking
The
with the paddle
with
back
the
in
patty
day.
patty.
Yo, it happened to me, Dr. LeBron. I still remember. I got a lot of love for him. He's a cool dude. One of my favorite, and so, like you said, you don't forget about
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
We all have our favorites.
Yeah.
How's Dr. LeBron? Have you talked to him? What's going on with him?
Listen, Dr. LeBron is my brother, man.
Nice.
That's what's up.
So let me tell you a story about him, man. So growing up, Dr. LeBron played softball, right? He was a pitcher, amazing pitcher, man, the best, right? And everybody knew Doc.
Yeah.
Doc. Everybody knew him, and then I knew him in the softball world, but then I realized that he was the principal of Bilingual Middle Mass.
Yeah, yeah.
And then principal of Edison
Yep,
High
yep.
School. So when I started my teaching journey, of course, I reached out to him and I just said, hey, man, I started teaching. He gave me, great advice or whatever. I looked up to him, man. It's my idol, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We all looked up to him.
Latino
man.
administrator in North Philadelphia. He's always in the community.
Always.
Playing softball. Well,
In a BMW somewhere. Right?
Yeah, BMW,
He was always
man.
fly, this guy.
Yeah. So he knows the community well. He's immersed in the community. Everybody loves him, respects him. But funny story, man. So in 2015, I left because I was a principal at Stetson Middle School for 7 years, from 2008 to 2015. They asked me to come back and take over Kensington High School.
Okay.
So Kensington High School at that time had 2 schools in one building.
Okay.
So I was tasked with bringing that school to be back to just one school instead of 2 to 1. So then they said, well, because it was 2 schools, you get to bring a co-principal with you.
Okay.
Not a vice principal or assistant principal.
What's the difference?
So
Yeah,
a vice principal it doesn't have the same decision making
Oh, okay.
Responsibilities, maybe.
responsibilities
Okay, got it.
as the principal, right? So the principal pretty much oversees all operations. The vice principal is pretty much that person's right hand person, right?
Okay.
Second in command. So if the principal's out, then the vice principal,
Yeah.
takes over. So Zach can get a co-principal, which meant just another principal,
Yeah.
like me.
Like a partner.
So I was like, I could think of nobody else, right? Because I knew that Dr. LeBron had just left Alany High School, and he was back home in Florida because that's where he has a house. So I give him a call and I said, "Yo, Doc," I said, "What are you doing right now, man?" And he was like, "Well, I'm in my garage, cleaning out my garage." And I said, "No, man." I said, "What are you doing in life right now? Like, you got a job? What are you trying to do?" He's like, "Well, trying to go back to the district as a principal coach." But I haven't heard anything back. I said, "Hey, man, I got a proposition for you." I said, "How'd you like to be my co-principal at Kensington High School?" Bro, he was like, "Are you kidding?" Well, within seconds. He was like, "Are you kidding me?" He said, "I'll be there tomorrow." So give me some time. I got to get my stuff together.
Yeah.
I think within 2 days he was there. Came on board with me in 2015. And bro, we turned that school around within a month.
That's good, man.
He had that listen,
Listen,
that reputation.
Not his reputation. And let me tell you something, man. Like a lot of people, don't get that chance to work with an idol, bro. Like,
Yeah.
That's like Kobe Bryant playing with Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
We used to look up to him, and,
No, I
and it's
feel you.
funny because
I
I
feel
would
you.
run
You know
into
what I'm
him
saying?
years later, and he will remember me.
Yeah,
He'll
yeah.
look at me, and then we'll start laughing, and we'll talk a little.
Yeah.
He was never short with me. It was
Yeah,
more, hey, how's the family, how's
Yeah.
mom, and I respect that he takes the time to at least say hi.
Doc is a genuine guy, man.
Yeah, he was actually my principal at Bilingual and Edison.
Ain't that something? So
And I remember him always having his respect because he respected himself.
Absolutely. Yep.
He was always a real cool dude, but he was strict.
Straightforward.
Yeah, so everybody was just like, LeBron coming, LeBron. So they already knew, they straightened up every time they seen him. So, that's why people like him, they go to a higher place because
But let me tell you,
know how to
man,
do shit.
He's still at Kensington High School, bro.
Is he? Shout out to
Yo.
Dr. LeBron. I'm going
That's
to
dope.
stop by and
Yeah,
check him out.
Yeah, I would like to see him one
I got
day.
to see him.
You got-
Hey, let's get him on the show.
Get him on the show, Dr.
Get him on the
LeBron. Come on.
We gotta get him on the
Yeah,
show.
he'll come on, because I'm sure he has a lot of stories.
That's the best. When he sits you down and tells you his stories from back in the
Yeah,
day,
yeah.
man,
That's dope.
Like one of the stories that I love the best, man, is what he said he went to Prince Treaty back then.
Back then.
And he's after school, man, and we went through that, right? Because I went to Jones Middle School. I didn't go to bilingual.
Yeah.
We used to have thank God that Jones had SEPTA buses that were right in front of the bus. I mean, right in front of the school. They knew what they were doing. Because if we had to walk to the bus stop,
You might not make it.
in Port Richmond,
Yeah, you might
Oh,
not
no.
make it like
crazy.
that.
We had to like run and like hide and hide
Yeah.
for a second and then go. But Doc says the same story, man. One time he was standing there waiting for the bus, and all these white kids, man, saw him and they were like, "Yo!" And they came after him, man. He said he ran and finally he was able to like jump into a trolley, bro.
Oh, that's crazy.
To get home, man, because it was rough.
That's how it was back in the day,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
I remember
Unfortunately.
growing up, we couldn't pass Front Street. Like, remember, we couldn't go to the other side of the train. We couldn't do that.
No.
Growing up where you cannot cross that way.
So I'm glad you brought that up, right? Because then now I'm gonna tell you another story, right? So I'm telling you that I've been through a lot, and people are sometimes like, bro, how did you survive?
Yeah.
Right. So go with Fel, couple my brother, friend of ours, couple other people. We go play softball on Berks.
Okay.
Frankfurt and Berks.
Yeah.
Right. And they're playing softball, whatever. Game's over, and we're about to leave. My cousin's car gets messed up, right? So then we're waiting for a tow truck to come. So then we're sitting there, and then these girls come over. But it was a distraction, bro. They come over and start talking to us. They were holding us there.
Yeah.
There was only one way to get out. And all of a sudden we look, there's like 20 dudes
Yeah.
for us to get out.
Yeah.
So my brother walks out first. I'm second. And as I'm looking, I see this dude with a baby samurai knife, bro. And I'm like, yo, these guys serious? One with a bottle in his hand. Bro, commotion happens. And I start to run out. And I see the dude coming at me. So I like move. And then he's staring at me. And I'm like, why is he staring at me like that? I look, there's blood on his knife.
Oh.
I'm like, yo, did this dude?
Stabbed?
Yeah. So I'm like, yo, did this dude get me? Bro, I put my hand in my back, and I had a Michael Jordan shirt on. I'll never forget. Put my hand in my back. I could put my whole hand inside my back.
Oh my
That's
God.
how big the hole was.
Oh my
100
God.
stitches.
Oh my
So I go
God.
like this. There's blood all over my hand, bro. I'm like, yo, this dude just stabbed me, but I didn't feel anything. So
Yeah,
I
'cause
just
your
keep-
adrenaline, yeah.
The adrenaline.
Adrenaline, yeah.
So then after that, he starts chasing me, bro. I ran
That's
the
insane.
Fastest I ever ran in my life. Bro.
That's
He was
insane,
coming
bro.
to me, right?
And it's like all you did was go try to play baseball.
That's it.
Yeah,
It's-
unfortunately, there
I mean?
was a lot of racism, and that's something that it either fuels you to hate or fuels you to understand that
Nah, listen.
it can do either or, right?
Yeah, I never, and people say that to me all the time. Oh, you lie. I said I never had hate for those people. Like,
No.
Because I got stabbed by
One individual.
one person.
One
I'm
individual.
not gonna take
No.
We just spoke about that.
anybody.
Yeah, yeah.
We just
You know what
spoke
I mean?
about
like
that,
that.
yeah.
That to me, it happened, and those were things that happened back in the day.
Learning
You know what I mean?
curves, man, and God kept you alive for this reason. That's
right.
Yeah.
The reason that you could give back to the community.
Yeah, man.
You're doing a great job, man. You're doing. Let's just switch gears a little. I wanted to talk about male teachers in the schools, okay? Because there's a drop. Like we were talking about Dr. LeBron. A lot of my favorite teachers were men, man, and I've had a lot of great women teachers, but they were so impactful. So I want to read this, and then maybe you could touch on what's going on nationwide. Only 23% of teachers in K through 12 public schools are male. According to recent data from Pew Research Center, the numbers look even worse when you break things down by race. Male teachers of color account for only 6% of teachers, despite the fact that more than a quarter of all students are boys of color. This is your world, right? This is your wheelhouse.
Yeah.
What is it with male teachers that we don't get them like we used to, right? They're not around, right? And so it's very important, obviously, especially for boys, not excluding girls, but for boys to seal that male, like you said, when you saw Dr. LeBron, that male figure gave you confidence to see that somebody that looks like us can become that.
Yeah.
There's people that are looking at you and saying, I can become that. He's like me.
Yeah.
What's going on in that
So
wheelhouse?
it's always been a struggle. It's always been a challenge to get male teachers, in schools and school districts and into education as a whole, right? You got to realize that education historically has always been a female dominant profession, right? And it wasn't until recently that more males started to get in the position. You think about the male teachers back that we had, with either gym teacher or the school support staff.
Yeah, or they were the NTAs or the deans.
The NTA, deans of students, and we fall into a lot of that now. Like you see, like black and brown teachers, males, as disciplinarians, right? And we try to get away from that because then kids like us, they just look at them as disciplinarians.
Yeah.
You either have a love-hate relationship.
Yeah.
With them.
That's
right?
true.
But
the teacher, the actual teacher's the nurturer, and then the male is like the disciplinarian. So they're gonna pick the
Of course.
Right.
Of course.
all day.
So in my case, right, when I came into education, when I first got my class at Hula de Burgos, I was a seventh grade teacher.
Okay.
7th grade class, and I go outside to pick them up on the first day of school, and they're all like looking at me, bro, like I'm an alien. Like I'm 3 heads, right? And I'm like, it's either they're like scared of me, like respect, or something's going on. So one of the kids does like ask them, and they're like, Mister, are you our teacher? And I was like, yeah, I'm your teacher. And they were like, I'm like, why? They were like, you're the first male teacher that we've ever had.
Oh, wow.
7th grade.
7th grade. Right?
Kindergarten, 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th grade.
7th grade, yeah.
The first male teacher they've ever had.
That's crazy.
Right? So I was like, wow. Like, I got into the profession, but I never knew that. And I did see, like when I was in school, that there were more females in classes than males. Like my cohort, there were maybe like 5 guys that were in education. Right? Some of them were going to be like high school teachers, some of them gym teachers.
Yep.
Some of them special education teachers. But it's definitely a need, and it's definitely something that school districts, especially like School District of Philadelphia, are always campaigning, to hire more male teachers, and especially teachers of color, because you are right. When our young people see people like us, like to me, the most gratifying thing as a teacher and as a principal were kids telling me that they want to be me, right? Or that they aspire not to be a principal, but to make it like I made it, right? Because
just not be another statistic.
Exactly. Because when I and I used to always tell my stories, man. All the stories that I'm telling you today, I used to tell my kids point blank. I was vulnerable with them. I was transparent with them. I didn't hold back. I would at Kensington High School every day I would have an assembly with my 9th through 11th grade students, Every
Okay.
day. I would have as soon as they came in, they get breakfast. They come into the auditorium, and me and my climate manager will have an assembly with them, and Dr. LeBron will do the seniors.
Okay. Okay.
He would have an assembly with the seniors in the cafeteria, and I would talk to the 9th through 11th graders.
Okay.
And every day I give them a message, man, like, hey, stop being out there, man.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, I said, and I would always tell them, they said, one day you're gonna be in the darkest moments of your life, right? And I'm sorry to say this, you're gonna be in the darkest moments of your life, and you're gonna think about what Dr. Lahara is telling you right now.
Yeah.
You're gonna remember me.
So has there been any student that years later came back and said thank you?
Absolutely, absolutely, man. I get so many, man, and so many that say I was a father figure to them.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was like a dad to them, like, and guys in the high school, I used to get posts all the time on social media. People would show me like, yo, like people in the neighborhood, like, yo, Ren, what are you doing over there, man? Like, these kids here, they're definitely afraid of you, man. Like, they're like running to get to school because they don't want to get there late. Because you say you get on them, I'm like, yeah, I get on them, man.
Yeah.
It was tough love. It was tough love.
It's not only that,
tough
but
love works.
But listen, you're teaching them responsibility, man. Like you get into work. This is work.
Yeah, yeah.
Right. Yeah. And listen, Kensington High School was one of the only schools, because when I was at Stetson, it had turned into a charter school, and that charter school organization, Aspira, their uniforms were like Catholic school uniforms.
Oh, okay.
Shirt and tie for the boys. The girls could wear ties if they wanted to too, but skirt or pants for the girls. Whatever they wanted to wear. So I brought that to Kensington.
Okay.
Right? People say, man, you ain't going to get kids in North Philly to wear a shirt and tie. You crazy?
And they did.
I said, okay. First day of school, I had 95% of students in shirt and tie.
That's what's up.
Full uniform.
That's what's up. Yeah.
Full Catholic school uniforms in a comprehensive high school in North Philadelphia.
Yeah.
Right? But the kids, man, but here's what I did, though. I didn't say, hey, y'all going to wear this.
Yeah.
Let's pick out what y'all want to wear, what colors y'all want, how do you want
fair.
how do you want the tie to look. Pick out your own crest that you could put on the uniform.
Yeah.
They were part of that decision making process. It wasn't top down.
Yeah,
I'm saying I did it together with them, and me and Doc, and they appreciated that, man. And they wore their uniform proudly, man. You know what I mean? So
I always felt like, even growing up, that the uniform was a good system. Mm-hmm. The reason because of that is because you growing up, and like Edison, we went to Edison, right? It was a fashion show.
Oh, was it?
So it was just like you had kids that had money to buy certain things,
Yep.
and then you had the kids that couldn't afford it. So the ones who couldn't afford it used to always be with the head down,
Being bullied.
stuff like being bullied. So I figured if everybody's dressed the same, there's no competition.
Yep.
We just
Great
coming to
point.
school, we coming to learn, we getting things done. It's not I got something better than you or none of that. So I always felt like that system worked.
Excellent.
But listen, from coming from somebody that from elementary school to high school till I got to 9th grade, I was the youngest of 5 boys, right? So I always got hand-me-downs, bro.
Yeah.
I never had, got to have new clothes or whatever. Whatever the brother that I followed, my brother George, whatever he finished wearing, that's what I wore.
Yeah.
It was big, small, whatever. I remember one time, bro. There was my mom gave me a shirt, but it was a female shirt,
Oh,
right? And I'm like, Mom, I was like, Mom, ya todas mujeres. How am I gonna wear this, man? They're gonna make fun of me. Yo, and I got bullied like crazy.
Oh, I could imagine.
Listen, man, and I fought a lot, man, but I was tired, man.
Yeah.
Every day, man, people cracking on. I had pro wings.
Oh, I remember
Yeah.
Pro Wings.
Yeah.
Oh,
I would wear pro wings.
Yeah, it was rough,
You know what
man.
I'm saying? It was tough, man.
Pro
So,
wings.
these
kids don't know, man.
Listen.
A lot of these kids don't get it.
I tell my sons that all the time. I tell my daughter too, man. Like, listen, y'all have no idea what I went through, man. So, I told my mom, I said, yo, this is a woman's shirt, man. My dad said.
Oh, your old heads don't care,
dad,
boy.
My dad was like, well, yeah, it is a woman's shirt, but you tell him a man is wearing that shirt, right? Right? So I'm like, Pop. Poppy, I said, I appreciate that, right? But that ain't gonna work, man.
That ain't gonna work.
No, man.
They gonna flame me when I get home. That ain't gonna work,
Yeah.
man. But
That's crazy, bro.
But listen, man, I had to get to school, man.
Yeah,
It's just funny that we can laugh about these things.
Yeah,
man.
man.
At that time, it feels like the world
Yeah, of
ended.
course,
Yo,
bro. You know what was
Man,
that, man?
Listen,
Yo.
no, and then we could only afford thrift store clothes.
Of
or whatever.
course, yeah.
And then
Kelly's Corner? Hold on,
yeah,
Kelly's Corner?
Oh, Kelly's Corner was a spot.
Or what was it? Lehigh. Man.
Yeah. It was depending on what you wanted.
Yeah.
You had to go to either Kelly's Corner or Germantown. Germantown had
or-
more of the swaggy.
Yeah, a little bit better.
Or
You know,
rainbow under the L.
Oh, no, Rainbow. Yeah, Rainbow.
Come on,
Yep.
man.
Yep.
I mean, and listen,
Foot Locker. No, it wasn't Foot Locker. What? Payless.
Payless. They had
Not
Payless.
Foot Locker,
They had Payless there too.
bro. Listen, my first My first pair of new shoes that I ever got were from Payless, bro. My mom,
Tight, right?
my
Tight. They hurt your feet. Oh, they never fit. They
My
never
mom brought me these. They were like shoe sneakers type things, right?
White socks.
Listen, yo, and I remember,
Tacho.
man, I remember wearing those. I was the happiest kid ever, man. Going to school, and as soon as I get there, like, yo, he got paid.
He got the Jones on.
Like, man, all right,
The
whatever,
good old
man.
days, man. It's
yeah.
good that we can laugh now, you know, because these are memories and things that actually make you who you are.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, yeah,
Right?
yeah.
If it was too sweet, right? If it was
Yeah.
too sweet where you had it all,
Yeah, yeah.
who knows?
Yeah, your life probably would have been totally
Probably
different.
been
You probably
totally
would not
different.
want to get into education or any of that. You probably would have
Maybe not
none of that.
appreciate
Yeah,
things,
yeah,
right?
Yeah, yeah. So I mean, you know, everything happens for a reason.
Tell me about it.
I always
Tell me
say that
about
everything
it.
happens for a reason. There's a reason behind everything that happens in life. Believe
Yes,
me,
sir.
bro. Whether good or bad, it's
Facts.
always something.
My man. Now, let me ask you this, because how boys learn and how girls learn, we know that is two different styles. So I'm going to read this, and then
Yeah.
because you take over, research support what parents of boys and girls have always known. Those brains are wired differently. Not all kids fit the pattern, but boys tend to learn better when they have pictures and graphics and physical movement to help them grasp concepts. Girls often benefit from the opportunity to talk about how to solve a problem and work with others on solutions. These different types of learning can always be addressed in the classroom, but making adjustments at home can help students succeed regardless of their lifestyle. Is that happening in the schools where, you know, the district is saying, listen, we got to do better because boys are falling behind? We could get into them stats maybe some other time, but we know that boys are falling behind. What are you guys doing to counter this issue?
So, you know, it's something that's well known, something that's well researched and documented. Boys always fall behind girls in terms of achievement, right? But it's not only boys versus girls, it's also subgroups. We call them subgroups, right? So, and it's called the achievement gap. So then you have white students, Asian students, Latino, and Black, right? And then you have multiracial, but there's always a disparity, right? You always see white students and Asian students outperforming Black and Latino students,
Yeah.
right? That's called the achievement gap. So school districts are always working to work with the Latino and Black students to put them on the same level playing field, right?
Okay.
So in schools, you know, and in education, we call that differentiation of instruction, right? So you know that every teacher knows what each learning style for each kid, right? So when you put them in groups, you put them in certain groups so that they can help each other, right? So
Feed off each other.
right? So if boys learn with pictures and girls are more talkative or whatever, then the boys
Hold on, girls are talkative?
and then girls, the boys pick that up, right? But it's something that we always thrive to work on, definitely in the forefront of everyone's mind. And to your point, man, I just remember that when I was at Stetson Middle School, I actually tried out with my 5th grade students, and it was actually my cousin that I told you is a doctor now. He was a 5th grade teacher, and then his counterpart, they split the class
Okay.
into boys and girls, right? Just to see how they did. And obviously my cousin worked hard with the boys, and his counterpart worked hard with the girls. But it was always the same. The girls outperformed,
Of course,
the
yeah.
boys, right? But then they can't learn from each other, and then they can't socialize with each other. So I never understood the whole an all girls school
Yeah.
and all boys
Yeah.
school.
So there's benefits, pros and cons.
Yeah, there's pros and cons, but I always appreciated, to have them together.
Yeah, yeah.
So that they can not only socialize and learn how to talk to each other, but they can learn from each other as well.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yep.
Awesome. Yeah, that's a good way of putting it. We hear a lot about this, and it's something that has to. There should be a shift. I'm guessing who's responsible, right? Is it the parents? Is it the school? It's a tough battle for parents, right? So I mean, it's something now that you're here that we can talk about. If you had to give one advice to parents, that things that you see that the parents are lacking, doesn't make the parents a bad parent.
Yeah.
Sometimes they might not be their capacity's not there.
Yeah.
What advice would you give parents to do more with their children if they had the opportunity?
So what I would say is a no-brainer, right? They got to get their kids reading early. Like, get them in the habit of reading.
How early? How early?
As
early as possible.
As
soon
early
they
as
can talk.
possible. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
As soon as they can talk, get them to read, talk to them, show them words, letters, sounds, pronunciations, because that's what we're lacking right now, man. So
Yeah.
many kids come and they're not ready. By the time they're in kindergarten, they don't know letters, so it's harder on the teachers to catch those kids up because they're already behind.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But it's no fault of the parent, man.
Right.
In the communities that we live in, a lot of them they just don't have the
They're
time.
doing the
right?
best they can
They're doing
too,
it-
man.
and listen,
They're doing the best.
Anybody
they
that
can.
works for me, when I was a principal, I would always say to them, I don't want to hear you blaming the parent.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
not- don't say, oh, well, it's the parent. And you hear that a lot.
Yo, all the time, all
You
the
hear that
time,
a lot,
all the
right?
time.
Yeah, behavior wise, and you could tell that kids and when they're disrespectful, and then but then there's some kids that are disrespectful and the parents step up. It's the ones that are like that condone it. That's a
Yeah.
problem, right? But the majority of the parents, man, they don't send us their kids that are challenged, right? They don't keep the like I say, they don't keep the good kids at home and then just send us all the kids that are challenged. We all have the same kids, right?
Yeah.
And what I always say is don't blame the parent, right? The parents are doing the best that they can with what they have.
Of course.
It's our job as educators to pick up that slack and to do the rest for them and to support them, right? And I think that a lot of times where we miss the boat is really involving parents and giving them that message because we're afraid about what they're going to say, right? Because they've had experience where you tell a parent like, hey, can you read to your kid, more at home, and then they take that offense to that. Oh, what are you trying to say? That,
Wow.
but then you don't know if that parent knows how to read,
Yeah.
because of the way of their upbringing or the
Yeah.
challenges that they had. You know what I mean?
It's an uphill battle.
It's an uphill battle. So for everybody, man, us growing up, like, I hear a lot of friends that was like, oh man, I didn't read because if I was reading, they'd caught me reading and make fun of me.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a thing growing up.
That was a thing. That was a
right?
thing.
If
That
you
was
was
a
a
thing.
bookworm, they would just torture
That was
you.
a thing.
And if you spoke, eloquently, and your grammar was right, or you're talking like a white boy.
Yeah,
They used
yeah.
to say that
Yeah,
to
yeah.
un gringo.
Yep.
And it's, no, I'm
When you
reading
speak
a little
proper.
now.
Yeah, you
I'm
speak
trying
proper.
to better my vocabulary,
Yeah,
my vernacular.
growing up, it was just like reading was like for nerds.
Right.
Us guys showed off at gym.
Jim. Yeah.
That was when we were in front of the girls. We would show
yeah.
off.
Sneakers.
But you already know, like we showing off at gym, playing
Yeah,
basketball,
haircut, remember that?
all that stuff. Yeah, but reading and stuff, that was like for the nerds.
And now them nerds are the ones hiring people.
Of course.
Yeah, no,
They're the
listen.
ones that are running institutions, and that's why I always stay cool with everybody.
Yeah,
I was,
yeah.
I wasn't the bully type. So
Reading's a good thing,
But
man.
that's what I'm saying. Like, and here's a strategy that I would give parents, right? Like, this world is so busy and so noisy, right? Like, I started reading this book called The Miracle Morning by Hal Elrod, and he talks about taking time in the morning when you wake up, right? So if you wake up at 7 a.m., wake up at 6 a.m., right? You got to if you can't make time at night, make time in the morning.
you might have more energy in the morning.
For yourself, right? Wake up at 6 a.m. and take an hour, right? If you normally wake up at 7,
Yeah.
you're already on point.
Yeah.
Wake up at 6 and read for 10 minutes, meditate for 10 minutes, write for 10 minutes, do your affirmation for 10 minutes, visualize your day.
Explain
for 10
affirmation a little. Like, just get a little detail.
Affirmations is like, I'm gonna go to the gym because it's gonna make me healthy.
Okay.
Plan.
I'm
Okay.
I'm gonna eat right because it's gonna make me lose weight.
Yeah.
I'm trying to
Or live longer.
right. I'm visualizing and thinking about finding ways to make money and be more
be better with money.
be more
right?
be more focused, right? And when I first started to meditate, bro, my mind was racing all over the place. And I know that would happen to any of us, man, just because of our upbringing. But if you're a parent, just even if it's in the morning before the kids go to school or at night, just find a quiet space, block out all the noise, and take just 10 minutes and let your kid read and be there with them.
Yeah.
Read with them. And if you don't know how to read, then you both teach each other, right? Because reading opens so many doors. I'm a firm believer in that.
Yeah.
And like when I first started to read for like pleasure, like knowing and comprehending what I was reading and using my imagination, bro, it just opened up so many doors for
That's
me,
what's
right? And then, when I got to college and really started to research and started to know different things and started to open doors for me, right? And when I got into education and teaching and learning history and all that stuff, it was like, it really brings life into perspective of why things happen, right? Because a lot of us are ignorant. Things
Yeah.
happen in the news or whatever, and then we have no idea what's going on. No idea why things are happening.
That's crazy.
Because we can't fathom it because we don't have that background knowledge. To make
Especially
sense.
history, right? I'm reading the book A War Against All Puerto Ricans. And it talks about, sterilization back in the day, Vieques. It's a really, really good book.
There's things you didn't know.
I had no idea.
Nobody
ever
You know
taught
what I'm
you
saying?
that,
And
right?
so no one taught me that. We talked about this before where a lot of the schools don't really teach Latino history.
No.
Especially Boricua history,
That's
right?
not their.
So at 40, going on 48, I'm trying to read better and do a little bit more reading. So imagine, right? And it's never too late, right? At the end of the day, it's a new hobby.
Of course
It's a new
not.
hobby.
Yeah.
So I love it. You're absolutely right, man.
As long as you're alive, it ain't never too late.
Never too late, bro.
Absolutely.
Wow, that's awesome. All right, let's have some fun. You ready? Have some
go,
fun.
let's go.
Wait a second. Baseball Classic is here. I'm a little down, Brown, because our Boricua squad is hurt. Not hurt physically, but we're because 3 of our players are not playing. Now, shout out to the Dominican community.
Yeah. He got the jersey, dog. Shout out to DR, dog.
You know I came prepared, man. I came prepared.
You guys are stacked, man.
Yeah, listen.
What I think you guys look, it's you guys, Japan, the United States they're looked upon as the team to be. Unfortunately, Puerto Rico, we have a few players that are not going to be able to play. That's going to hurt our chances. I think we'll still make some noise, but without them 3 guys, it's going to be tough.
Yeah.
What do you think, you guys? Is it your year to win it?
Listen, man, I I'm gonna be biased, right? And
sure.
say I definitely think the Dominican team has a chance, but USA and Japan, they're tough teams, man.
teams,
Let's just say it's gonna be a great show.
Yeah.
Right. If you saw the game, and I'm so happy that they did this. Dominican Republic played their first games in DR, which has never happened before.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the first game against the Detroit Tigers. They played 2 games.
Smashed them too, right?
Yeah, well, the first game they won, I think 12-4. Second game they ended up in a tie because they don't go into extra innings just to save the pitchers. But that first game was electric. It was at night.
That's dope.
You know what I mean? All the fans are out there. You know,
they take that serious.
Yeah.
Puerto Rico and the Dominican Republic.
Oh, of course.
They're playing. Listen, man, it's real.
but so much so that I heard today they were like, "Yo, what do you think about having an expansion team, MLB expansion team, playing in Dominican Republic?"
Eventually, it's gonna happen.
That'll be
just because they saw the atmosphere.
That'll be
Like, you
crazy.
think-
That's a big market.
Yeah, but
that's a huge
but
market.
You think that Citizens Bank Park, right? And I got my best.
Hey,
best
represent.
bank, right?
You get a pass for that.
Yeah.
You get a pass.
You think that Citizens
Shout out to
Bank
the
Park
Dominicans.
in the playoffs, man? You know that crowd.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right.
It's electric.
But Dominican Republic, man, that was amazing, man.
Yeah, yeah.
Man, it gave me so much joy to see that. But I can't wait to see what they do, man. The first game is tomorrow.
Okay. So yeah, we're gonna be
yeah.
watching. We're gonna be watching. Hopefully, baseball guy. Hold on, I gotta shout out some people. Last time I was on a show, and they say you had a Dominican on the show. You shout out a few people, not everybody. So I'm gonna do it again. All right, to all my Dominican family. We're gonna start with Huli Dooley, Aaron, Francie. Pote, right? That's his name?
Yeah, Pote.
I call him Pote. It's Pote. Welda, Juanito, Sara, Jose Tejada, Freddie from Coke. That's your guy. You want to say something to Freddie?
La Foca.
Hector from Coke, Milagro, and Miguelito. To all my Dominicans, you know I love you. Listen, all this Puerto Rican Dominican stuff is only during the classic.
Yeah, 2 weeks.
It's only during the classic.
Weeks, all right?
We're not friends.
That's it.
And then, somos primos, okay?
Yeah,
Somos
yeah,
primos.
yeah.
Saludo, que Dios te bendiga.
Bad Bunny will bring us back together.
You see that at Bad Bunny in Australia?
Yeah, man, that was dope. I saw footage of that. I saw footage. You see, it was like a sea of people.
Yeah, man.
It kind of reminded me of like the Woodstock stuff back in the day.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
the 90,000.
It was insane, bro. Like,
Dude is unmatched, man.
yo, se me para los pelos, bro, de verdad. I gotta talk a little Spanish because, you know,
Dilo,
they think I can't talk Spanish. Se me para los pelos, papi.
Pa' que sepa.
Yeah,
How
so-
was that influence, man? Like seeing him do that, bro. What that do to you?
Oh, listen, man. I'm a huge Bad Bunny fan.
Yeah.
Huge. I went to the residency in Puerto Rico, man.
Oh, yeah?
What was that?
Amazing, bro. One of the best.
You went by yourself?
No, my wife.
Okay.
No, that.
No. I went with my wife, my daughter.
Oh, nice.
Mother-in-law. Yeah, it was awesome, man. It was an amazing, one of the best concerts I've ever been to. In my
So you
life.
went out there and
Yeah,
like, you got an
out there.
Airbnb.
Stayed out there for a while.
Listen, I love Puerto Rico, man.
Yeah,
I've been
yeah,
there-
yeah.
I've been there so many times.
Yeah, I love it.
and
I love it.
It's but what people don't realize, right, is like again, you had this old, theory about Puerto Ricans, the Dominicans, or whatever. but Puerto Rico is just like Dominican Republic.
Yeah,
We're
yeah.
cousins,
The only
man.
I'm gonna tell you, man. The only difference is the currency that we use.
Okay,
We use
okay.
American dollars. We use pesos.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
it.
Yeah.
But the food, the scenery.
Yep.
The
music.
But
the music.
people don't realize that a lot of the music is influenced by Dominicans. If
Yeah.
you look at the producers, they either have Puerto Rican, have Dominican.
Yeah.
So it's not like just Puerto Rico dominating. It's the fact that the Dominican
It's a
Republic
mix.
is
We're in the mix. We're in the
and
mix.
they're involved in all the music and a lot of it. You got to give them credit for that.
I'm gonna say something to Brown, man, because I was dying when I saw that cut that you did. That when you fly to Puerto Rico, people clap.
Yeah, that's
people clap.
real.
Yeah.
Dominican Republic.
They do
you
the
don't-
same-
Listen, you don't even want to. The whole plane shakes, bro.
Yeah.
Dancing.
Yo, when they land in Dominican Republic, man, it's funny, man, because I took my sons for the first time to DR over the summer, and I said, guys, when the plane lands, watch everybody clap.
That's what's up, though,
They
man.
were like, are you serious, Dad? I was like, yeah, watch this. As soon as the plane lands, we all go, but I mean, like roaring people.
Yeah.
I said, yo,
What do you
tradition.
think that is? That why you think that's the reason why people? You think it's because of the nervousness
No,
and
no,
they're
no.
happy they landed,
Yeah, well, two
or is it
things.
because we're here in our place?
Well, two things. One, because they're home, right?
Yeah.
No, but they do that when they land here too, in
Oh,
the United
really?
States.
I always thought it was over there.
It depends. Well, that's why I'm saying
Some people do,
Dominicans,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Dominicans, because when you're coming back from Puerto Rico, a lot of times you have a lot of American people. They're like, what are you clapping?
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
But when you're coming back from the Dominican Republic, the majority of folks are Dominican.
Yeah.
So anytime the plane lands, they clap.
Yeah.
But it's more they're clapping for the pilot.
Okay.
So it's out of
Okay,
respect
like
to
good
the
job,
pilot.
good job. Yeah.
Right. Bendición.
They're
Like
yeah,
bendición, yeah.
So one, they're clapping, especially they clap harder when they're going to Dominican Republic than they do when they're coming back. Like, oh man, I'm gonna come back to work.
Yeah.
But they're really clapping for the pilot.
Yeah, that's what's up,
like
man.
giving props to the pilot for landing.
I have a question for you because I know this is something that we all talk about and living in Philly, born in Philly. What is your thoughts with parents that deny to talking Spanish to their children, right? And then a lot of kids, man, they grow up in New York or Philly and they do not speak Spanish. What is your thoughts on that? Do you think parents should be mandatory to teach their kids some Spanish?
So I think, man, that being bilingual is a superpower.
Yeah.
And it's definitely a lost art. Or a lot of kids that
No sabo, what they call them? No sabo kids.
No
That's what
sabo
they call
kids.
them.
No
right.
sabo?
kids.
Yeah. Well, those,
You
those-
didn't know that? That's
yeah.
what they call
well,
them.
those are the ones.
No sabos.
Those are the ones that speak Spanish, but not. It's like broken Spanish,
Yeah.
right?
Okay.
Those are the ones that they call the no sabo kids. But you have kids that don't speak Spanish at all.
Yeah, at all.
And it's something that I that I wish my sons did, but it's from a previous marriage, so
Yeah.
we didn't the way that the custody worked, I didn't have them enough time
Yeah.
to teach them, but they take it in middle school.
They want to learn it now.
They take it in
right now,
high
being
school.
Latino, we're at the all-time high right now.
Yeah.
Like
I
you
mean-
see a lot of people want to learn, and the scary part is you got, and I'm not knocking it, other cultures getting jobs. You talking Spanish, where you got
Yeah.
kids, our kids that are not learning, losing these opportunities.
Yeah.
Think about it.
That's like-
I saw a teacher going to the France or France teaching Spanish.
Yeah.
She was a gringa. I'm not knocking her. Hey, good for you, but that's a job that one of our
Yeah,
kids.
that's like if you want to get in the fire department or something. If you speak both languages,
It's easier.
you have a higher
You have
chance.
a higher chance. yeah.
Okay, that makes
Because you can speak to people who cannot speak Spanish. You got to think about that.
So-
you go into so many
yeah.
homes and stuff. It's like, come on.
So
now.
when I first joined the school district of Philadelphia as a teacher, I had to take a test to let them know that I was bilingual.
Oh.
And they put you at a different pay grade.
Oh, nice.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because
You deserve
you
it.
know both
Because
languages.
you're designated bilingual, and to me, man, I always say that it's a superpower, man.
Yeah,
because
yeah.
You can talk both languages, and you're a higher marketed person. You have a higher value.
Yeah.
For sure.
Because you're in a business, or you're like me. If I'm in my position now, like if there's a parent that's in need, I can support.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep,
But
yep.
if I didn't know Spanish, then I wouldn't be able to
stuck.
support that.
Yeah, you're
then I got to worry about finding somebody else to do it.
Yeah.
So-
Me growing up, I was actually blessed to be around like my grandmom, my aunt, my uncles. They spoke English, but Spanish.
Yeah,
So it was
yeah,
like
yeah.
to understand exactly what was going on, you had to listen.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Or
I got
una bofetada.
yeah, well, yeah.
No,
you,
and-
you understood bofetada fast. That's what I'm saying. He say he gonna smack you. You know what bofetada mean, right? He gonna smack you, dog. You better chill
Don't
out.
talk back.
What?
Yeah, but that's the thing. Like when I got home, man, it was all my parents didn't know English, so it was all it was all Spanish. So,
Yeah.
you know, people don't realize like to learn both languages, like you got to speak it every single day.
That's true.
Like, you have to be immersed in that every single day, and that's why we're trying to get more dual language schools, where the one teacher teaches Spanish, you know, 80% of the time, and the English teacher teaches English 20% of the time.
Okay.
It's called the 80-20 model.
Oh.
So that the kids, you know, get that Spanish, and you know, they become, by the time they get, then it's 80-20, 60-40, 50-50. And then by the time they get to, you know, 8th grade, they're, you know, the goal is for them to be fluent in both Spanish and
That's
English.
dope.
Makes sense, man. And give them a better shot in the workforce.
Yeah,
Give them a better shot. Let me just, and I got so much that I want to ask you. What's your relation with Aspira? People, they know about Aspira. What's the history behind that? Because for so many years you see Aspira, people talking about it. What's that organization for people that don't know?
So Aspira started out as a club that they used to have at school for bilingual students.
Okay.
And it would help out students with, you know, with ESL, you know, support them. That every school had an Aspira club. I remember.
Yeah.
'Cause when I was in Massbomb, you had the Aspira club, and it was mainly targeted for, you know, Latino children. But then they evolved, and, you know, they got some charter schools, and then they were trying to get a college or whatever. But that's what they did, you know, in the community, and that was pretty much what it was. It evolved from being a club to now, you know, having their own educational
big organization.
system.
Huh?
Yeah.
Good, interesting. That sounds like a plan. So what is in the future? Politics? You're gonna write a book? I mean, there has to be-
Politics.
I mean, I don't know. You're gonna be a baseball coach.
said
You are a
no.
baseball coach,
Oh yeah.
right?
Well, yeah, I coach my sons, man.
Right. So
Okay.
Yeah.
what else do you want to do that is in your heart that, you know, I don't know, reverend maybe? I don't know. You have the power, right? And you have the voice to speak.
Yeah.
People follow you. You're well respected. Is education you're gonna stick to just education, or do you have plans for something else?
Yeah,
Something
so
else?
definitely no politics, man. 'Cause I'm not, listen, I just don't have that. man,
Nah.
To get into politics. My nephew used to always tell me like, "Yo, you gonna be the next mayor of Philly?" I'm like,
I see it though. I don't know what it is when I'm looking at him and he speaks.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
just see him as a politician because
Yeah,
I
but
think
it's-
he would win. I think he would.
It
win.
absorbs so much of your life, though.
Yeah, I can
man.
imagine.
Believe it or not, bro.
I appreciate that, but no.
He's like,
No,
no,
thank you.
no, no.
You know, my next goal is, I'm an assistant superintendent now in Philadelphia. My next goal is to be a superintendent.
Okay.
Okay.
Which means that I would lead my own school district.
And we're
Oh,
praying for that. Y va a salir,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
If three agree, what is it? Two agree, it's going to fruition, right?
Yeah.
You agree?
Yeah.
Great. It's going to happen.
Yeah, so
Amen.
that's my goal, to be a superintendent, and then, you know, just I educate. There's so much to do in education, right? So even after, you know, I retire, I'm still, you know, looking to do like some consulting, helping school districts out, you know, helping coach people to be leaders, to be principals, and, you know, definitely, I'm glad you said writing a book. That's definitely in my purview.
Definitely. You have to.
yeah,
But your testimony is phenomenal.
Not only that, but just the trajectory and the experience, and, you know, to put my story into somebody else's hands, and for them to read that, hopefully inspire somebody.
Yeah,
which,
yeah.
you know, I have inspired a lot of kids, man, and I've helped grow a lot of kids to be successful, man, and I'm proud of that.
Yes, sir.
That's what's up.
Yes, sir.
Rennie, you're at home, right? You're having a bad day. But you need something to bring you up, uplift you. What is your favorite plate to eat?
You asking?
Because a lot of us guys, when it comes to food, food makes us happy.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So what's on
100%.
Rennie's plate that makes him feel
Specifically.
I'm good now. What's on the plate?
Listen, I'm easy, bro. So and we don't go to restaurants to get this. You know, my wife and I, we make that at home, and we do it together. So, and we both, when we say this, we both get happy.
Y'all both like the same thing.
That's
Okay.
gonna be
okay.
our. Well, she doesn't like my meat choice too much. And it's arroz blanco, white rice, beans. And then I like stewed chicken.
Okay,
Or
yeah.
guisado,
Oh, man.
right?
Oh, man.
We call that's called la bandera dominicana.
Okay.
Right? That's called the Dominican flag.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
It's rice, beans, and
Stewed chicken.
And stewed chicken.
Okay.
And then you know, my wife makes an amazing potato salad.
Oh,
Like, you know,
good.
with the carrots.
Does she use apples?
No, she doesn't use.
Oh,
that.
so
Yeah, because you know some people put apples
Yeah,
in
some
it.
people, you do. They do. But she,
So that means we're coming over for dinner one
Yeah.
day.
Oh yeah. I definitely have y'all over. But that's my meal, man. And you know, it makes you happy.
Yeah.
Like, to your point.
Yeah.
If I'm having a bad day, or if it's something that you know, that I haven't had in a while.
Yeah,
When
yeah.
I have it. It just makes me so happy, man.
Yeah, the food takes you there.
Yeah.
I think we covered all grounds, bro.
Yeah, we did a lot. Yeah.
And this is important to us because this was the focus on the podcast. When me and Brown got together, we wanted quality people. And that's what is going to continue happening here, where we have people like you that are giving back to the community. Yeah. Of course, we'll have other folks that might not have that drive, but we see something in them, right? And so many people like Brown said want to come on the show, but you got to have a story.
Yeah,
right? You have to have a journey. We can't just waste time because there's young kids that are watching you. Yeah, you're going to change their life. And you're a blessing to the community, man. So I thank you for coming on.
Of course.
We're going to pray for you so you can continue with your journey. We believe in you.
Thank you.
You need us. You call us. We're here for you. Before you go, we want to know what kind of charities that me and Brown could get into, whether that helps the school, helps kids. If you know any offhand, you can let us know, and we can help out every once in a while.
Definitely. No, well, I mean, you guys can always adopt a school, man.
Oh,
I mean,
I never knew that.
Especially like for you, Hunter, right?
Oh, yeah, I never knew that.
To Hunter, right?
So how does that work? Real quickly.
You just go, you know, if you know, just connect with me. I pretty much have all the schools in this community, man. Okay. You know what I mean? And if I don't have it, my cousin has them.
Okay.
So, you know, if you guys want to, you know, support any school with whatever it is, free, like book bags, like, you know, before school starts.
Yeah. I would love to do something like that.
A lot of people do that. You know, you buy book bags, materials and stuff, and, you know, you just want to partner with the school and you become a school partner. Okay. And then even if you, like, great idea. Look, I just came up with an idea, right? If you guys want to do your podcast one day, like at a community event, at a school event.
Okay.
Right? First day of school or first week of school, you're welcoming kids back or whatever, right?
Talk to the kids.
Talk to the kids.
Yeah, talk to the
parents,
kids.
You know, talk to teachers at whatever school that you guys want. And I can help set that up.
Let's do it.
You guys.
That'll be dope.
Blessing,
That'll be dope.
This was a blessing.
Yes, sir.
Brown, what do you have to say to the fans about this show and what this means to us?
I mean, you know,
man?
like always, man. Like I always say, thank you to the fans, man. These fans are amazing. Like, and you know, we're gaining them more and more and more, and it's just making me stronger and stronger, bro. Like honestly, and I appreciate when people like Rennie come on the show. You know, all the other people that we had on the show were all great people. The stories that they told, it might not affected this person, but it did to another, which matters a lot. As long as, you know, somebody picks up on and say, yo, man, like that story you said, or the story that Rennie said, it made me, you know, wake back up
and want to change
and stuff like that. And, you know, that's our main focus on this podcast right now. So you already know, man, I'm always Mr. Positivo.
And I appreciate you, man. He's the best because when I'm down, he's like, bro, enough. Let's go, vice versa. So we feed off each other.
Yeah.
And then when we got people like you that believe in us, it means a lot.
Absolutely,
all right,
man.
It really does, and we need that support.
No, I'm telling you, when I saw that, man, like you know, and I'm gonna be honest, like I'm like, these guys should be getting way more likes.
Yeah.
Than they're getting right now.
It's coming. It's coming.
Yeah,
It's on its way.
every time I'm like, you know,
it'll come.
But I was like,
It's
you know
work.
what?
It's a lot of work.
I want to come on. I said, let me reach out to you know, to Brown, man, and see if I could come and support in any way and just chop it up with you guys, man. So I'm humbled, man, that you guys invited me over.
Means a lot to us.
Means a lot to me, man. That I
Thank you, bro.
Here,
Thank you. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
This was episode 44, baby. Episode 44. Thanks for tuning in. Till next time, please subscribe, like, and leave a comment. Even if you don't listen, you don't have to like us, love us, just support us.
Just support us. That's all I care about.
Yes, just support us.
Of course.
We're here for the community. We're bringing on more people that have a lot going on. So stay tuned because it's going to get better. Thanks for tuning in. Till next time. Peace.